Karl Gerber and Employment Lawyers Group.
Justice and for honor, I am a lawyer, I am a lawyer.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. This is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show, and I'm Karl Gerber. We'll try to get... I'm not hearing anything. I thought I was going to get censored. Let me try that again. We'll try. Still not hearing anything. Oh, well, I guess they're not going to censor my show after all, but it was my understanding that I was going to be heavily censored and redacted on this show, and I'll try to get through it tonight. At any rate, happy Easter, everyone. May a certain sense of renewal come to you knowing the show is on to its 53rd episode. More importantly, we have a special Easter treat for you. We have a person. I have no idea if it's a man or a woman underneath the Easter Bunny costume. Presumably, this Easter Bunny has brought us Easter treats and non-leavened bread.
Jelly fruit slices for you, Mr. Employment Lawyer. A white Easter egg for that white person over there, and...
No racial humor on this show.
Fine. Even though brown eggs are more healthy, I won't give them to that white supremacist over there the Kiev face-slapping champion is going to take on during the second segment of this show.
Seriously, bucktooth bandit.
I am not the belly bandit. Would that be better?
As you know, this is a completely independent show. We don't have any sponsors. Don't start in on the belly bandit. They neither condone nor pay for this show to sponsor them.
Put up your carrots. Put up your carrots.
Dude, you're weird.
Put up your carrots.
I'd rather put up my fists and send you crashing through the window into the sound engineer's office, but then I'd be liable for breaking glass.
Did you know I can break glass with my voice?
Why do you want to fight me? Could you translate that?
You said you don't have any sponsors. We all know the Helms Foundation's $5 billion in funding and 14 inches of endowment is your sponsor.
Actually, the Employment Lawyers Group does sponsor this utterly ridiculous, non-pragmatic program. That's why nobody calls 877-525-0700. They're thinking the lawyer who scripts this show couldn't possibly need any new clients because no one can script their lawsuits better.
Are you serious?
What part of what I just said?
The part about this show being ridiculous.
I can't and will not respond other than to say I don't go around claiming, sorry, we're all full. If someone has a great employee lawsuit, they should call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700 for the Employment Lawyers Group's offices all over Southern California. 877-525-0700 for the law firm that will write your winning brief, sound a lot better in front of the judge and jury than someone who can't do 10 voices and script this crap every week.
Maybe I call next week. I might be experiencing some disability discrimination at work.
Wait a minute. I thought you were the Easter Bunny over at Rhemus Helms Cosplay Ostrich Ranch.
I am the humble servant of Rhemus Helms, the most important man in Sun Valley.
It was many eons ago. I recall one of the guests. I think it may have been the robot on the Cosplay sexual harassment episode early on in this show's memorable history. Or maybe it was Mistress Lubov.
She's really Cindy D. Did you know she's really Cindy D? Cindy D's so pretty.
At any non-hourly rate, one of those two kooks said the Easter Bunny was getting all the desirable shifts at Rhemus Helms Cosplay Ranch. The Easter Bunny had far more of the presence than other cosplay actors. How is it you're being discriminated against on the basis of your disability?
If I do believe I am correct, And the Easter Bunny is not necessarily a very accurate, how do I say, notwithstanding, thereof, and hear from never standing. The fact I am not very reliable. I do believe the comment was perhaps, maybe, quite possibly, could be, you saying, why doesn't Rhemus Helms want to see friendlier cosplay actors when he wakes up in the middle of the night to take a tinkle? Why does the ghoul get all the work? Or maybe, could be, might be, by chance, would it be? Why does the ghoul get all the night shift work if Rhemus Helms wants to see a friendly face, if he happens to, might just, could, wake up in the middle of the night to tinkle?
I might, just might, could possibly, by chance, I could, maybe wring the neck of the person who sent you onto the show.
You'd strangle the Easter Bunny?
You're not the Easter Bunny.
I most certainly am. You are not the Easter Bunny.
I am the Easter Bunny.
You most certainly ain't the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny, I am.
You're walking around in a costume.
I most certainly ain't.
I can see the zipper in the front of your suit.
You most certainly cannot.
People don't have light blue fur.
My fur ain't no light blue color. It's pastel blue.
You have no tail.
I have no tail. My word, I have no tail.
Hey, why are you stealing my lines?
No, you aren't.
I really am the Easter Bunny.
My whole life.
When did you become the Easter Bunny?
There most certainly, definitely not a maybe or a perhaps. There is an Easter Bunny, and his name is Quiggles.
Then what's the Easter Bunny's name if he exists?
I did not.
You just made up that name, Quiggles.
Are you insulting the Easter Bunny? I don't know who my mother is.
Your mother gave you the name Quiggles.
My mother wasn't a Playboy bunny.
Since you're a bunny, does that make your mother a Playboy bunny? We have nothing in common.
My mother was in We, not Playboy.
That's hardcore, dude.
Huh?
Fentanyl. Off, dude. My mother's supposed to have been in We, not your mama.
Hey, wait a minute. We're confusing the audience.
You're stealing all the good lines.
You're reading the script backwards.
I am.
Why did you drag me down here?
I was lounging around in my rabbit hole after We.
What's going on? The beach?
Yeah, do you like the beach?
That always happens. My grandmother. Oh, what's going on? You.
Because. Do you think? Understand? I've got it.
No, just about everything you said just got censored.
That's not my fault.
Technical difficulties. We are not experiencing technical difficulties.
Then what happened?
Well, I thought it would be funny if nobody knew what you were talking about.
And then she said no. And I said, yes, I have to work.
We still don't know what you're talking about.
Wah, wah. Grass. You have any grass?
The nerve of you. You know I don't condone the whole legal cannabis industry.
Grass? You got grass?
I used to plant a lot of dichondra. It reminds me of the 70s, but it weeds too much. I switched to zoysia for small, showy locations. But on balance, Marathon 2 is the cheapest, strongest, most lasting sod. But for the Oxnard office, I went over to Southland Sod in Port Hueneme, and I got some Green Wave.
Oh, you got Green Wave.
Yes, I installed that lawn last September or so with the tall grass that looks a little like zoysia.
Did you bring over any Green Wave? You got some?
I don't carry around pieces of sod in my passenger car.
You have some in one of your trucks.
I most certainly don't waste sod. If I've got any leftovers, I find a place to plant them. You do know they would dry out if simply left in the back of the truck for a prolonged period of time.
I eat sod out of the back of trucks all the time.
All right, guys, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. I want to find out why this rabbit is here when we come back. We're listening to Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Hopping down the bunny trail, hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a consistent force in fighting for the rights of California employees. They've represented thousands of employees in cases in which they've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, discriminated against at work, or owed wages individually or as a group such as a class action. The Employment Lawyers Group has maintained a high win rate and a serious record before the California courts. Please call 877-525-0700 for an experienced work lawyer. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, research the firm at worklawyerca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. If you hire the Employment Lawyers Group, your legal problem becomes theirs to solve.
Lowe's knows you'll do it right to get your backyard ready for entertaining. We do it right too, with everything you need to create an inviting space and save at the same time. Make the stakes to keep your guests coming back for more and save with $50 off select grills and smokers. And for plants that come back every year, pick up 2.5 quart perennials, now 3 for $12. Whatever you need to get a backyard you're proud of, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through April 24th. See store for details, U.S. only. Perennial offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
When tracking the domestic dust bunny, you commonly find them hiding under wardrobes next to lost socks. Don't move too suddenly or they'll scurry off. What's utterly fascinating about the dust bunny is that although they are not actually sentient creatures, when they hear that Geico not only saves people money, but also has a 97% customer satisfaction rating, it's obvious to them you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Oh no, it's the dust bunny's only natural predator. Run along, dust bunnies, run along.
Free offer contingent on subscription. Pay shipping and handling. Cancel anytime. Message and data rates may apply.
When did it become okay for men to be lazier, softer, fatter? We need to bring the men of this country back to greatness. And it's easier than ever with Ageless Male Max, a patent-pending formula with an ingredient that helps boost your total testosterone, promoting greater increases in muscle size and twice the reduction of body fat percentage than exercise alone. Plus, an amazing 64% increase in nitric oxide, which can be handy in the gym and in the bedroom. Take your manhood to the max by trying your first 30-day bottle free when you text the word FORCE to 797979. Finally, a formula that boosts total testosterone. If your results with Ageless Male Max are too intense, please decrease use. For your free bottle, text FORCE to 797979. Text FORCE to 797979.
Talk Radio 790 KABC. I'm Karl Gerber, a real workplace lawyer, and you're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. And if you can believe it, we got a bunny in this studio, and this ain't no dust bunny. This bunny's got a lot of testosterone. Don't ask how I know that, but he's dressed in a blue pastel costume with a zipper in front. Here's the problem. Rabbits aren't 6 feet tall like my guest here.
Mr. Gerber, have you ever seen Alice when she's 10 feet tall?
And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're not going to fall, tell 'em a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you the call.
You've got some kind of mushroom. Don't tell me the men on the cheese board gave it to you. Those guys got the best mushrooms.
I fear we've fallen into a rabbit hole. This is a true nightmare. There is no logic
or proportion to this show.
What do you mean? I've got show segments and everything.
Do you have any idea how long my tail is?
I don't care.
Just take a guess.
Longer than Rhemus Helms' moneymaker.
My tail longer than that? Are you kidding? You're cajoling me.
I don't measure the tails of 6-foot rabbits.
Do you actually think a rabbit's tail could be longer than that? Thing?
I know. The guests on this show are weirder than jam and tuna.
Rabbits are vegetarians.
My point was, I know you're weird, and I know the two older men who furnish my guests are whack jobs. We can't discuss the size of your tail and saw it all night long. Nobody really cares.
I have problems.
That may be an understatement.
I am not like you.
No, definitely not.
I eat grass.
Well, so do lemurs. Your point?
It's a disability.
Oh, you walking around in a costume is a disability? I don't think so.
I can't take it off.
The zipper's stuck?
My therapist said I can't be me.
I might prefer if you were not a 6-foot rabbit in a pastel costume.
That's the problem. They say I'm not a rabbit.
I actually tend to agree.
The way you said you tended to agree. It sounds like you hold some doubts about me not being a rabbit.
Oh, no. I don't hold any doubts about you not being a rabbit.
You thought maybe I am Eliyahu?
You certainly aren't no prophet.
You bring up a very good point.
That you aren't a prophet?
No, you said I am not Eliyahu.
Oh, this isn't going anywhere.
See, it was like this. I used to sneak into Jewish homes once the Seder ceremonies were all over. I'd drink the cup of wine left out for Eliyahu.
That's plain pathetic. Not to mention it could be sacrilegious.
I got my comeuppance.
Good.
One night when I got home, I felt my ears grow.
Is this going to be like a debauched version of Pinocchio?
Hey, don't make jokes like that.
Since you're telling so many lies, I think your nose should be much longer than Rhemus Helms' moneymaker.
Have you heard of Valley Village?
Have you heard of, say, Menlo Park?
Menlo Park? Yeah. I think I went there once and ate a whole bunch of bluegrass. It was like one big ugly face. Warts, crooked teeth, pervy eyes, like a book. It tasted good, though.
Well, you should be careful. There's a lot of pesticides in grass.
I know. I've had my stomach pumped lots of times.
You've got to ditch that rabbit routine.
It's not a routine. Anyway, I was in Valley Village down by the Los Angeles River. They call it the Wash there. It's sort of an Orthodox neighborhood. Seder fell on a Friday night, and a lot of people were at synagogues, but the wine was out.
Well, this sounds like a real bender for you.
Manischewitz, Herzog, Meshititz, Herzishitz.
Watch out. We're going to have to censor you.
I'm just explaining how I started slurring my words by the 18th trough of wine.
Oh, that's plain terrible. Breaking and entering 18 homes and drinking wine meant for the prophet?
I feel remorse. The Jewish Journal wrote an article about how Eliyahu came to Valley Village on Sabbath.
Yeah, I recall reading that back in Solly's Deli on Van Nuys Boulevard when they were still in business. Well, you know that in 1993 I went there before I got sworn in as a lawyer.
You've got proof?
Oh, yes, there's a picture of me holding up the Daily Journal reporting the bar results. I'm in the parking lot of Solly's.
Man, this didn't happen that long ago. I haven't been a rabbit my whole life.
Well, this is an odd question, but do rabbits have religions?
Oh, sure. Some of us are atheists, but most of us believe in a thereafter on account of the typical fleeting nature of our lives.
Say, how long have you been around as a rabbit anyways?
Going on 18 years now.
I'm sensing something with 18 here.
Yeah. Hi adds up to 18.
You say you started going through these life changes on the 18th cup?
I think I drank 18 cups that night.
You weren't even sure?
Sir, it was a lot of kosher for Pesach wine.
Your ears do look kind of weird.
That's not all.
What else is going on here?
I do a lot of hopping.
Oh, you're one of those Lindy Hop people. We've got quite a contingent of vintage listeners. We've got the mid-century modernists, the drive-in movie theater people, the vintage Los Angeles people. From my websites about vintage Los Angeles, like employeelosca.com/vintage-LA and vintagelosangeles.org. That's all one word. That show last week about drive-in movie theaters in Bunker Hill, it really sealed the deal.
I hop.
She hops. We all hop.
The restaurant, they sometimes serve parsley if you order a pancake.
Does Rhemus Helms know about all this stuff?
That IHOP sometimes serves parsley with pancakes?
I was rather referring to your morally and legally prohibited behavior on Passover some 18 years ago.
I'd never tell him a thing like that. He shouldn't know. Do you think he's listening to the show right now?
Of course he is. He stops whatever he's doing every Sunday night from 7 to 8 p.m. to listen on the radio. It doesn't matter if the candy striper's in his bedroom or he's meeting with a world leader to discuss his mission to end AIDS throughout the world, or even his research into sexual and non-sexual eruptions insofar as all the minor earthquakes in California every year.
You're sure he's listening?
This is another odd question, but don't you have to work at the Cosplay Ostrich Ranch on this important day of the year, Mr. Bunny?
Humanoid always gives me the day off. Hominoid knows I have lots of things to do before the children wake up in the morning, and I am all tuckered out by noon.
Well, don't you make live appearances at brunches across town and maybe a park throughout the day?
I do.
Would you call it a religious accommodation that Rhemus Helms' Human Resources gives you?
It could be. Yes, I have the Lord's work to do on Easter.
So besides the Cosplay Ranch, do you have any other paid jobs? I don't imagine you're paid in currency for your important role as the Easter Bunny.
It's my duty to bring Easter to the kids of America, the Lower East Side, Orange County, Oildale, even their parents. They're often racist. Temecula, and I don't drink from the wineries.
Oh, gosh, that sounds like a lot of travel, Big, that you're working for the Lord. I would suppose they reimburse you necessary expenses under Labor Code Section 2802.
No, sir. And I wouldn't ask either. Nutter butter, peanut butter sandwich.
Do you have an actual employment problem, or were you just sent over here for urine and giggles?
Yes, sir. They're objecting to my looks.
I wouldn't imagine Rhemus Helms is objecting to your authentic rabbit appearance, ears and all.
Look, I started this transformation when I was in dental school.
You went to dental school? Where was that?
USC.
How much did the fam pay to get you in there?
Just normal tuition. And they gave me some work study with this guy in the medical school who was an ophthalmologist.
How did it all go? I presume that you're such a kook you didn't graduate.
It went okay. Well, sort of.
What went wrong? Let me guess. You hopped around the campus, snatching organic carrots out of the hands of the freshman pledges in the Greek system, and you got arrested for disorderly conduct.
The ophthalmologist did something weird to me with a carrot.
We're really not interested in that kind of humor after the sound engineer had to dump that caller last week who wanted to talk about what he did to the guys in the drive-in.
It's not humor. I ate one of his carrots.
A big deal. Let me give you a tip, young man. I mean, crazed lunatic dressed in a rabbit costume. There's lots of carrots out there where that one came from.
I don't know. Maybe they were for Doc, not for me.
Did the ophthalmologist assert ownership rights on the carrots? How dare he?
The carrot was laced with all sorts of drugs.
That's completely irresponsible. I hope this ophthalmologist learned his lesson.
Not then. A long time later. I think his license got revoked this year.
Thank the carrots of Southern California. I mean Camarillo. Did I say Camarillo? I meant Sunland. No, too close to Sun Valley. Fine, I'm going to say it. Should I?
What? Get it off your chest, old man.
There aren't any carrots in Hellhole Palms.
Like, duh. It's just one big hole with a runoff for assistant dope waxer.
Okay, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. We have a man on this program who's now claiming he went to dental school, but he's dressed in a rabbit costume. He's got some employment problems. We're going to find out more about him when we come back. But if you have a real disability case, I can be reached at 877-525-0700. I do cases all over California for employees. That's 877-525-0700 for a real labor lawyer. 877-525-0700 for religious discrimination, national origin discrimination, race discrimination, any form of discrimination. Thank you for listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
The bunny trail, hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Since 1993, the Employment Lawyers Group has been a results-oriented law firm whose goal is to get the client what they deserve. They've represented thousands of California employees who've lost their jobs, been sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or were owed wages on an individualized or group basis, such as a class action. They have a high rate of success. There are few situations involving employment law that they have not confronted. At the forefront of employee rights, they're often the first employee law firm to confront a new legal issue. For an experienced employment lawyer, call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have call takers standing by. Online, read more about the firm at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Make your work problem theirs to solve.
Talk Radio 790, KABC News Update. I'm Steve Cumming. In Sri Lanka, more than 200 people were killed in 8 bomb blasts at churches and hotels this morning. Sam Kiley reports that the Prime Minister never got the April 11th memo warning of attacks on his country.
There is also going to be recriminations, and the Prime Minister has alluded to that too. He said that intelligence that had been in circulation of an impending attack or the danger of one had not reached his desk, and that would be subject to an investigation.
A former Marine is under arrest in connection with a February raid on a North Korean embassy in Spain. Christopher Ahn is said to be part of a group that broke into North Korea's embassy in Madrid, beat and restrained staff, and stole computers. Ahn was arrested in Los Angeles last week and possibly faces extradition to face charges in Spain. Ahn is said to be part of a group pushing for the ousting of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. KABC SoCal weather, mostly cloudy overnight with lows in the lower to mid-50s. More news coming up in 30 minutes, continuing coverage at KABC.com. I'm Steve Cumming, Talk Radio 790, KABC News.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text ACE to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degrees, text ACE to 35517. That's ACE to 35517.
Come on, kids. We're late.
Honey, the car won't start.
Mom, the dog just sat on my science project.
Life can be stressful, but getting life insurance shouldn't be. That's why there's Ethos. Ethos is a modern kind of life insurance that's super fast, incredibly affordable, and very uncomplicated. At GetEthos.com, there are no medical exams for policies covering under $1 million. No hours of paperwork or meetings with pushy representatives. It only takes 10 minutes to apply, and you can rest assured knowing you've taken steps to protect your family. And in most cases, with Ethos, you can have that peace of mind for less than a cup of coffee a day, with no hidden fees. Having life insurance can free you from stress. Getting life insurance shouldn't cause it. Discover how uncomplicated life insurance can be at Ethos. Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
And a white collar, indeed I have the look of a scholar. I fight for justice and for honor. I am a lawyer. I am a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer too on the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show. You know, I'm really licensed in 4 states and I really represent employees. So tonight, guys, we're broadcasting out of our trendy Culver City, downtown Culver City studio. And it really is Easter, and it really is the third night of Passover, but I'm here and I'm devoted to this. And I hope you guys are streaming on YouTube. Some of you go to Karl Gerber, that's Karl with a K, Gerber on YouTube, and you'll get to the channel. We've got about 130 videos up by now. And we just did a video with graphics and everything from the Russian face-slapping champion. Remember that local boy? He was on a couple episodes ago. He was the face-slapping champion of Kiev. And, you know, he was here. He was going to beat up the white supremacists in the studio, but that wasn't necessary. We got him out of here anyways. So this tonight is a show with the Easter Bunny. I don't know if he's really the Easter Bunny. I think he's probably not. He's wearing a blue pastel costume with a zipper. He's told us that the transformation began when he drank 18 cups of wine left for the prophet when he broke and entered some Orthodox homes on Passover 18 years ago. And I think this guy is a little bit of a kook. And what's worse is he's also a dentist. We were talking about hellhole palms for a minute, and we're talking about that whole runoff for the assistant dope waxer. And you know what I was thinking, Mr. Bunny? If one of us moves down the hellhole palms there and registered, we could break that tie for the one woman, one man election that's been in runoffs ever since before episode 24 of the show with Alexandria Twalia Caesar when she appeared on the show.
We could do that. We could do that. I could do that. I could do that. It's a hole, after all.
Yeah, maybe you'd fall down the hole and never come back up.
Mr. Gerber, is that any way to treat your clients?
He ain't no client of mine.
What I wanted to tell you was maybe the drugs from that carrot did it to me.
No, it definitely was the 18 cups of Passover wine when you snuck into all those Orthodox homes while their residents were at Friday night services.
Due to my condition during dental school, I decided to focus on children's dentistry.
Wonderful. Can I see your teeth? This whole show, you've been talking with your mouth shut like a ventriloquist. I presume your teeth are rabbit-like, which shouldn't embarrass you, but it does because you aren't a rabbit.
You know how Starlight got that string in the back of her mouth about 6 months ago?
Oh, man, unfortunately, I've seen it in action, including when I came in here on episode 50. She came here claiming to be a descendant of the thing from the Forble board.
Who do you think has been doing her talking?
Easter Bunny, there's only one person with a voice that high, other than Cindy D standing in for Starlight on episode 29 to recount our adventures in 1939 to 1959 because Starlight twinkled out of the studio before she could tell the tale. There isn't anybody who could sound like her.
Ah, shucks. You don't believe I am really talking when the string is pulled?
No, I don't.
The cementum of my problem is my employer doesn't want me presenting this way anymore.
Rhemus Helms? He cares?
No. Dr. Dentin.
Dr. Dentin? The Dr. Dentin? No, you don't work for him. He stopped accepting new patients 8 years ago. You had to get on the waiting list before your kid was born, or there were some exceptions. You could be a TV or a film actor.
Or make the right donations.
Prove it to me that you work for Dr. Dentin. They'd never hire a man in a bunny costume.
How old are your kids?
Well, 10.5 and almost 16.
Then you know. Your wife didn't get your 16-year-old on the waiting list. I've never seen him there.
Excuse me, but my oldest son sees Dr. Dentin and his wife.
No!
Yes. And I've been handed some of those bills to pay. Oh, I instructed my wife I could only look at those bills if the fee was coming to me for a large wage and hour class action.
On account of Dr. Denton's office stopping the new patients, now a lot of them are young adolescents and even 18-year-olds still in high school. On account of their parents not going to the right third-party colleges, admissions, fraudsters.
What a pathetic group of people. Oh, man. I hate that crowd.
If your son got in, doesn't your wife go to the Dr. Dentin parties?
Well, she says this is her last year doing the gift baskets for those hoots.
There's a real obnoxious mom. Her daughter's coming into the appointments. She's hoping to be seen.
Do you find that annoying?
You've been to the dentist. You know how there isn't a lot of room to work around the patient, especially if I'm using a dental assist.
I guess. I mean, luckily, you're a pretty life-looking rabbit.
I am. I don't eat any Easter candy. Not even the edible Band-Aids.
Edible Band-Aids? Weird. You know, I don't really know. I don't know any other 6-foot-tall rabbits who are actually dentists besides their night jobs over at Rhemus Helms Cosplay Ostrich Ranch in Sun Valley, California.
And all I do on Easter...
How could you possibly find time to, extract teeth?
Oh, but I do.
Wonderful.
That mom is such a bitch. She bribed her way into the office. I guess she only paid something like $10,000 to get in. She got me.
Well, it could be worse, I suppose, or could it?
Maddie was all crazy about the Easter Bunny until she was about 9. I put up with her mother's butt always in the way. The yoga pants, well, they only do so much.
Maddie. A mother with a big butt, I suppose.
Yes. She's a real estate agent in the Encino and Mulholland Corridor area, even the Long Ridge Estates.
Actually, I know someone just like that.
Not her. She complained to Dr. Dentin that it's time for me to stop with the Easter Bunny costume. It's plain kinky with the Easter Bunny putting his periodontal scalers into Maddie's mouth.
What happened?
Dr. Dentin took Lisa's complaint to heart.
Wait a minute. Is this Lisa Glickman from that novel, Does This Make My Butt Look Big?
Oh, God. You know her?
I wrote her book.
Why did you do that? If she never existed, I wouldn't have to lose the bunny costume I am not wearing, as Dr. Dentin told me.
But you're not the Easter Bunny.
Look at these ears!
If your ears got together with Lisa Glickman's butt, the two of you could be obsessed over your body parts all day long.
It's a disability. Discrimination. I tell Dr. Dentin.
Your ears are a bit rabbit-like, but I don't see them affecting major life activities in order to make you disabled.
What if they are a cosmetic disfigurement? The wine thing. The carrot thing.
It's the costume Dr. Dentin objects to, not your ears, as I'm hearing this. Ears hearing. Sorry, it wasn't that funny.
No, it wasn't.
I'll tell you what is funny. Do you know what's going on in the sound engineer's room?
They're losing their hearing listening to me.
No, because they have levers. Easter, don't you find that funny? And buttons. You don't find that funny? Knobs. You're supposed to laugh. And buttons. Sound engineer, you need to censor his laughing. I'm not going to say knobs. Censor, and levers 100 times. All right, this is the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show you're listening to on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're talking to an Easter bunny who is a dentist who seems fixated wearing a costume, which might have been okay while the kids in the dental practice were younger, but now that they're getting older, they don't really want a costume bunny all the time at the dental practice, so his employer wants him to lose the costume. Now, is this a disability? We're going to have to find out when we come back. But if you have a real employee lawsuit, maybe you were deprived of wages at turnkey vacation property rentals, or you got random amounts of overtime at FPI management, please call me at the office, 877-525-0700. For employee class actions, 877-525-0700. Once again, 877-525 for a real workplace lawyer in my firm all over California. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in a minute on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Baskets full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright and gay.
The Employment Lawyers Group is a results-driven law firm whose goal is to get the right result for the client. They have represented employees with a high rate of success since 1993 throughout the state of California. They're only paid and if they are able to collect money from the employer, so there's not any upfront fees or costs in order to hire them. They have represented thousands of employees who've been terminated from their jobs, sexually harassed, subjected to employment discrimination, or are owed wages in an individualized or group basis such as a class action. Call 877-525-0700. That's 877-525-0700. They have operators standing by. They can also be reached at employeelawca.com. They have offices throughout Southern California. Hire them and make your workplace problem theirs to solve.
This is Lee Habib with Our American Stories. Tune in every night from 9 to 11 to hear stories about everything from the arts to sports and from business to history right here on KABC 790.
Are you taking Cialis or Viagra? Marley Drug has generics of both for just $12 per tablet. That's a savings of $60 per dose. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic Cialis and Viagra to your door for $12 per tablet. Call Marley Drug at 800-513-0530. That's 800-513-0530. Again, 800-513-0530.
Planning a home remodeling project this spring? Who do you hire and how do you know you're making the right choices? Well, call me, Lou Manfredini, with any questions you might have about your home Saturday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. live on House Smarts Radio on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Geico presents yet another voicemail from your roommate.
Hi. So, about the kitchen. Turns out when there's a grease fire, you're not supposed to throw water on it. Who would have known, right? Anyways, the fire department is here and it's totally cool. Give me a call back when you get a chance.
The Geico Insurance Agency could help keep your personal property protected, like if danger is your roommate's middle name. Visit geico.com to see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
Allergy sufferers, my name's Nigel. As a wise and educated owl, I know the difference between what's wise and unwise. Suffering needlessly with allergy symptoms, unwise. Getting a free 10-day sample of Zysol, quite wise. Zysol is the allergy medicine that's just as effective at hour 24 as at hour 1, which makes getting a free 10-day sample one of the wisest things you can do. So don't be unwise. Be wise all and visit Zysol.com for your free sample today. Use as directed.
Whatever. Talk Radio 790 KABC. You're listening to the Karl Gerber Workplace Lawyer Show, and I'm Karl Gerber. So have you ever heard a retake on live radio? We're about ready to do one, guys, so stand by. Mr. Rabbit, they're not losing their hearing listening to you because there's a sound engineer. No, they have levers and buttons, knobs and buttons. Sound engineer, you need to censor his laughing. I'm gonna say knobs. Thank you for censoring that. And knobs. That did not get censored. We got knobs and he's not laughing. I can't believe it. I'm going to say knobs again and see if he laughs. And levers. 100 times. Are you with us, Easter?
I'm coming down, actually. I'm coming down. I'm coming down now. The bunny hole.
Glad to hear you recovered.
I went to a psychiatrist.
Just now? To come off the laughing gas? Wow, that's a start. I'm impressed.
The psychiatrist might not be a very good one. She usually only works as an expert witness for employment defense lawyers. I am her first real patient in 26 years.
You're real?
I am.
Hopefully that defense whore, that's what we call them, hopefully that defense whore can get you all medicated up for no real reason. Or is she saying you never suffered emotional distress like she does to all of the sexual harassment and rape victims she sees?
That's why she took me as a client. She said you provided she hadn't independently evaluated any employee as actually emotionally affected. She said I was suffering greatly.
Delusions?
No, I only did laughing gas when I was in dental school. It's not ethical for a dentist to be on drugs. Not an ophthalmologist either. That's why he lost his license.
I'm glad you're... I'm really glad to hear that you're on a healthy vegetarian rabbit diet.
Lactucarium.
Shatumalthium? Nauium?
It's a milky substance secreted by some lettuce.
Why didn't you just say it? Lactuca? Ferosa, of course.
You know, that's a sedative to rabbits. And euphoria.
Does the defense whore have a diagnosis for you?
She says I'm delusional. And I have clinical lycanthropy syndrome. Not to be confused with werewolf syndrome.
Or throtterism.
Yes, not to be confused with foreign accent syndrome.
Oh, of course not. I once had a client with foreign accent syndrome. She just started talking in accents from places she'd never been.
Was she a voice actress?
Nah, she didn't make it as a stand-up comedian. She'd moved on to the hot dog eating contest and working a meat counter by the time she solicited my firm's services.
Hey, does it matter that I'm not an employee of the dentist?
Well, if you're a partner or shareholder in the dental office, under certain circumstances, the Fair Employment and Housing Act might prohibit the employer from discriminating against you on the basis of your mental disability or cosmetic disfigurement to the extent the pastel blue bunny costume has mended with your body and become one with you. Would you like me to go into a lengthy explanation about what circumstances discrimination laws might apply to partners?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. No single factor is determinative. In my opinion, it sort of boils down to whether you're considered an equity partner or whether you're called a partner but treated as an employee.
I am ready, right now, to take notes.
All right, question 1. Whether the organization can hire or fire the individual or set the rules and regulations of the individual's work might matter.
They can fire me.
Good. Hopefully they will.
That's not nice.
Whether and if so, to what extent the organization supervises the individual's work may determine if they're a partner.
They supervise every move I make in the costume.
Well, they should have. A lot of pervs wear costumes.
That's not nice.
Don't stop me this time or I'll insult ya, okay?
If I say okay, will you insult me?
Moving right along, whether the individual reports to someone in a higher organization, whether and to what extent the individual is able to influence the organization might determine if they're a partner, whether the parties intend that the individual be an employee as expressed in written agreements or contracts, and whether the individual shares the profits, losses, and liabilities of the organization.
I don't know why you read me all that. I'm not a partner.
What are you? Sorry, that's a dumb question.
They pay me $1,000 each day I work. Once I changed my appearance, they said I couldn't be an employee anymore.
When did that happen? That in itself could be discrimination if they won't accommodate your delusions. But then again, why should they? We've got a level, Rabbit. You aren't the Easter Bunny.
I am not?
No.
I don't believe you!
Wait a minute. You also said you aren't an employee anymore. Did they fire you? You're feeding me so many bizarre things so quickly, it's hard to concentrate. Sometimes potential clients need to slow down and let the attorney absorb the situation, which might not be as typical as the employee thinks. Not everybody hops around in a bunny costume stealing wine on Sabbath.
You've never represented the Easter Bunny before? You said you were one of maybe 3 employee lawyers in Los Angeles who had the most experience. Were they wrong?
Well, given my experience level, I tend to stay away from UFO and Easter Bunny calls.
So, how's this going to end? You going to dump me off in some miniature golf course with rolling hills?
I'm actually going to leave soon and prepare for a deposition of the real sexual harassment victim tomorrow.
No. Don't you care that they misclassified me as an independent contractor and there are tons of PAGA penalties?
The number of potential legal issues here just keep coming.
I can stay here and go over this with you the rest of the night.
You could, but I won't. Regardless, there would be 1 PAGA penalty for misclassification per pay period and 1 for a lack of a pay stub since you're exempt. Not a big case.
You're not buying I'm an independent contractor?
And not with the amount of control Dr. Dentin exercises over you. But on the other hand, if he let you wear the Easter Bunny costume for years, which that's clearly your decision.
It's not my decision. I am the Easter Bunny.
I'm definitely, and I don't mean quite possibly or maybe, I'm a former LAVC student.
Actually, I just realized I have to go. There's still Easter Bunny work for me to do today. Ciao!
Not a moment too soon. All right, so what did all this mean? I have absolutely no idea. I think it was supposed to be about whether or not he's got a mental disability an employer has to accommodate. You know, if someone does have a cosmetic disfigurement to their ears, that can be a disability. Cosmetic disfigurements are physical disabilities employers have to accommodate. The other issue is, I assume this guy who's been working as a dentist or whatever it is for this Dr. Dentin for as long as he had, I assumed he might have been a partner, but I don't think they wanted to make him a partner because he wears a bunny costume. So I was trying to find out if he was an equity partner, because equity partners, discrimination laws don't apply to them, but partners who tend to get salaries and don't share in the profit and loss of the organization, all that, all those discrimination laws don't apply to them. So if you've got a real discrimination case, I can be reached at 877-525 525-0700. We go all over California. We have good 15 offices here in California. 877-525-0700 for a real employee lawyer. It's not just me. I've got a law firm. I've been doing this since 1993. So 877-525-0700 for a real employment lawyer. Next week, I'm going to treat you with, get this, Nizuki, the famous neuro nurse who conceived Hanita Orkin Helms in her chair with Rhemus Helms, the most important man of Sun Valley. Until then, have a good week at work. You've been listening to Karl Gerber, Workplace Lawyer Show on Talk Radio 790 KABC. Next week, 7 to 8.
Things to make your Easter bright and gay.
This show furnished by Karl Gerber and Employment Lawyers